Two puppies fell into a well with a deadly cobra for 48 hours. You won't believe what happened next. We usually see snakes as one of the most dangerous animals in the world, with cobras being at the top of the list. No one would expect one of these dangerous reptiles to look after other animals, but that's exactly what happened. This story happened a few years ago in the state of Punjab in India. It was a hot day and two little puppies were playing in the garden of their owner, who was nearby with the pups. The two canines were having a great time chasing each other around, play wrestling one another, and yelping and playfully barking as they did so. Their sounds of enjoyment broke the silence of the courtyard that they were in and brought joy to anyone who happened to hear them. Their owner was nearby and was working on some of his daily chores. He loved to listen to his two adorable little dogs playing and running around. But after a while, he noticed that the sound of the puppies barking had gotten considerably quieter until the yard was once again silent. The owner didn't worry and kept on with his chores. He thought that the two puppies may have simply gone to lay down and rest in the shade for a while to cool off and recuperate their strength after playing in the hot sun for a while. But only a few minutes later did something start to feel wrong about the situation. The puppy's mother started barking loudly, as if she was trying to call for someone or warn the owner that something was wrong. Getting a sinking feeling that something bad had happened, the owner decided to have a quick look around the yard to see if he could find the two small canines. He looked all over, but could find no trace of the two pups. The whole time, the mother dog's barking didn't cease. In fact, it only got louder and more urgent. Just as the man was panicking a little, the mama dog ran over to him and looked him right in the eye. She then turned around and walked away from the yard. When the man didn't follow her straight away, the canine turned back to look at the man and barked again, as if telling him to follow her. Finally, obliging the mama dog, the owner followed her out of the yard and into the forest of it, which was just on the edge of his garden. When they were a few meters into the forest, the mama dog stopped at an old well and barked continuously at it. The man instantly knew what had happened. The two puppies had obviously run into the forest to the well, and in their playful endeavors, the two canines had accidentally fallen into the well. Being as small as they were, they couldn't get themselves out, and so their mother had gone to get the man to help retrieve her lost babies. Relieved to have found the two pups, the man naively thought that he would be able to quickly and easily get the two dogs out of the well and back to playing in his yard. But he soon discovered that this would not be the case. As the man approached the well to check on the condition of the puppies and to make sure that they were okay, the man grew horrified at what he actually saw. There, at the bottom of the well, were the two puppies, along with a venomous king cobra, one of the deadliest snakes on earth. And the worst part was that the snake was only 4 inches away from the two terrified dogs. The man had no clue how long the reptile had been in the well, which was a problem, as it could have been very scared, irritated, or even hungry, all of which could have led the snake to attack the two puppies. The owner knew he had to save his two young dogs, who were huddled together trying to be brave. So, thinking quickly, he ran back to his home and grabbed a pair of ladders. Once he returned to the well, he lowered the ladders into it and climbed down. But the further that the man descended into the well, the more he realized it would not be an easy task. Because of the cobra that was in the well with the dogs, the man couldn't step too far down from the ladder for fear that the snake would attack him. If that were to happen, the man could have as little as 15 minutes to get help, as the king cobra's venom is very potent. So, being cautious of the snake, the man tried to reach down into the well to grab the two dogs, but because of how close to the reptile they were, he simply couldn't risk grabbing the two canines. After a few unsuccessful rescue attempts, the man resigned himself to the fact that he wouldn't be able to get the dogs out himself. Knowing this, the man called some rescuers from the forest department to come and get the animals out of the pit. After the call, he went back to the well to wait for the rescuers and to monitor the puppies. After a few hours, as it was getting dark, the man accepted that the rescuers would not arrive that day. The man fretted over what he should do. Should he stay up with the puppies all night and wait for them? Or should he go to bed so that he would be fresh and ready to help the next day? In the end, the man decided that the best thing that he could do would be to get a good night's rest so that he could help the rescuers save the animals the next day. The next day, after the man had woken up, he immediately ran to the well to check on the puppies. Fearing the worst, the owner cautiously peered into the hole, expecting to see that the cobra had attacked the two young animals. But, to his astonishment, what he saw instead completely shocked him. Instead of attacking the two puppies, the cobra was protecting them. The reptile had made its way around the puppies and closer to the edge of the well, where it tapered off into some murky water. Whenever the two canines got too close to the water, the snake would herd them away from it, as if trying to protect the young dogs. Soon enough, the puppies got comfortable enough to play around a little bit, but were always careful not to disturb the cobra for fear of angering it. For the entire day, the puppy's mother never left the side of the well and kept a careful watch over the two babies. Meanwhile, the owner would keep checking in on the animals throughout the day, but as the day drew to a close again and there were no signs of any rescuers coming to help, the man knew that it would be another long night of worrying. This time though, the man was less worried about the cobra hurting the puppies, but was more worried about the possibility of rain. If it were to rain, the well would fill up with water, drowning the puppies. Thankfully, when the man woke up the next day and ran to the well again, he was relieved to see that no more water had been added to the hole. Then, finally, the rescuers arrived to help. It had been 48 long hours in which all 3 animals had been stuck in the well, but it was finally time for them to go back to where they belonged. One rescuer put on a special suit and descended into the well. Once he was down there, the cobra actually moved away to the other side of the wall, as if letting the rescuer safely get to the puppies without getting in the way. Then, after the rescuers from above lifted the 2 dogs up, the man in the well also grabbed the snake and it was lifted out of the hole as well. The reptile acted very calm and docile, as if it knew that the humans were trying to help it. Once all 3 animals were out of the well, the man quickly checked over the 2 puppies. Thankfully, they were perfectly fine, apart from being cold and hungry. But after a good meal and a few cuddles, the puppies were back to playing in the yard again, as happy as could be. As for the cobra, it was taken back to the forest and released to live happily where it belonged. This just goes to show that even animals that are dangerous can actually be very kind and caring too. What an amazing video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos.